God just talked to me, he said, you're anxious about so many things. He did me just like he did the disciples. You're so anxious about so many things. When he settled me down, he said, first things first. He said, I'm a God of order. And I said in order, I'm depending on you. Teach me what to say. Teach me what to do. Because I don't know. You know, and bless me that I may be a blessing to other people. And that's how I watch God perform miracles in my life. And he done it so smoothly. If I would tell people about all the miracles I watched him perform, they would say, you're a nut. In this pandemic, I look at people and I admonish them and I encourage them. Don't get discouraged. Don't be afraid. But hear what the Spirit of the Lord is speaking in this time. Get the peace of God. And in Colossians it says, when you get that peace of God, look, what you do so you make sure that you make the right decision is let the peace of God rule. Yes. If you think you can make it through this thing, this pandemic and all this stuff that we're going through now without God, then you are deceiving your own self. He showed himself so mighty to there are not being a doubt in your mind about this pandemic. God is greater than COVID-19. Don't you forget it.
Hi, this is Pat and Katie Jordan of Life Touch Ministries of South Carolina, letting you know that together we can change and touch our world.
The greatest, we're talking about the greatest commandment.
Yeah.
It's not just a platitude or something that you just say, hey, it's the greatest commandment. That's what God is saying. No, it's vital.
It is.
It's vital to your peace, to your success, to you having a sane mind.
Yeah.
It's vital to everything. Those two things. And when we lose focus, or when we tend to lose focus, you know, during the course of the day or the issue and situations that we're in, that's how we are kept at bay.
Yeah.
That's how the enemy gets inroads in our lives, you know.
And we wear ourselves out because I have wore myself out trying to get all of my to-do list done.
Mm-hmm.
I have worn myself out. And I remember one day I was trying to get my to-do list done. I want to do this, I want to do that. So I had to preach the next day. So that next morning, when I got up and I went in there and I spent time with God, I studied the Word and I made sure, you know, that preparation had been made so I could deliver the message and all that. When I was sitting there and God just talked to me, he said, you are anxious about so many things. He did me just like he did the disciples. You're so anxious about so many things.
Who you said that to? Was it Mary? Who you say?
Yeah, it was Mary you were talking to. And I was acting like Mary that day. And he just let me know you're anxious about so many things. He said, you forgetting the main thing. He said, focus on the main thing. This right here. This is what I want you to do. What did I call you to do?
Yeah.
And then when he settled me down, he said, first things first. He said, I'm a God of order. And I said in order. And see, they were little picky things, little things that I said, well, I got to do all this today and I won't have time to, really, being a mother and being the one to prepare the food and provide for my family, because most of my family was here. I said, won't have time to put on my hen. Won't have time to do this. I won't have, I'm going over here. I got to go to choir. I got to go to, because first thing first. Do you not know that after he spoke to me those things and I just settled down, he allowed me to do all my to-do list.
Right.
You know that there are things that you have to do in natural in order to keep things moving in the natural, you know, so you won't have confusion. You take care of your family and you spend time with your family. But all of my to-do list, what I thought I had to do, but I was putting it before spending time with him.
Right.
I was putting it before, so he said, me first.
Wow.
Then the others fall, and he allowed me. I sit down that Sunday evening late in awe.
Yeah.
I just sitting over there. I had been and deliver the word that God wanted me to deliver. I had done all that. I had done everything. I had cooked my dinner. I had done everything. Everybody eating. I just sat over, I sat over in my chair and I just looked kind of, I called it stupid. I just sat and I looked. I had a look of amazement on my face because I said, God, you are so awesome. I said, if we just stop and take time and seek you about everything that we do, even the things that we think you're not interested in.
Yeah.
But you are interested in everything that concerns us. And at the end of the day, he had carried it all out. People were blessed. The ones that he ordained to be blessed, that they were blessed. The ones he ordained to be healed, that they were healed. The ones that he ordained that day for them to be uplifted out of the pit that they were in, they were taken care of. Everything that God, and then he said, then as you do what I ordained for you to do, and people are blessed, then I'm blessed through you blessing them and being obedient to me, I bless them.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched them do that so many times. So many times.
It's so hard though. It's so hard, Pastor, at times to trust that. You know?
It's not but 24 hours.
I know. I know.
I just call it miraculously.
We get outside of us. I mean,
we do. We get outside of ourselves.
Oh, man. To be, like you said, reminded of the fact that if we can put him, you got to, what was it? Good morning, Holy Spirit.
Good morning, Holy Spirit.
You have to set your priorities.
Yeah, this is your day. Hey, this day you made, God. Hey,
Lord have mercy.
I don't know what to do and what order to do it in this day. I don't know what to say this day or nothing, but I'm depending on you. Teach me what to say. Teach me what to do because I don't know. You know, and bless me that I may be a blessing to other people. Yeah. I want to be a blessing to other people. And that's how I watch God perform miracles in my life. And he done it so smoothly. If I would tell people about all the miracles I watched him perform, they would say, you're a nut. They would call me a nut because I watched God twice in the ministry he has placed me in, especially during the time when I was pastoring, and I would get involved in the area of music. I would promise somebody that I would help them in that area, trying to pastor and do that. And then things would happen. Mm-hmm. And one time it involved children. We were supposed to take the van, we wound up with the van, and take all the children from the praises of youth who wanted to go to a workshop that was being held in Easy. It was Minister Joseph, myself, and Minister Smith, Eva Smith. Mm-hmm. And but Minister Joseph told us ahead of time, she said that when I go for the morning classes, I'm not going to come back with you all when you come back. She said, I'm going to stay over at Elaine's house, and I'll meet y'all at the church that evening for the service. We said, okay. I know we had about 10 praises of you or more. And we took them all over there on the van. We went to all the classes. We went through the rehearsals and everything. Then we got all of them back on the van, and we brought them all back to Greenville. And we dropped them all out at their houses. Mm. And it seemed like we didn't have enough time, so we said, well, instead of us, we were going to drop them all back out at their houses, but we didn't have enough time. It wasn't enough time for us to let all of them go in their houses and get dressed and then go back by and pick all of them up. So what we done was, we said, go in there and get your clothes. Everybody went in there and got what they were supposed to get. Mm. And we brought them all back to Sister Eva Smith's house. And in the meantime, I had to come home and dress. And the time was short and be back over there to get them, to take them back to Easley and be there by 5 o'clock. I never will forget this. And when I went to started out, I needed gas. And I said, oh, Lord. I said, if I'm going to stop to get gas, I said, we already running late. We were running so late, I stopped and got that gas. When the Eva blowed the horn, all of them come out of the house, they got on the van. And At that point, and I didn't think she noticed it, seemed like time stood still. There was no way that we could pick all those kids up and do all that and get back there, get over to Easley at 5 o'clock. Time stood still. And I didn't think nobody else noticed it but me. And when we got pulled in over there at that church, it was 5 o'clock. We don't know how it happened. I didn't say nothing. And then finally I said, did you notice anything kind of different or strange? She said, hey, Kate, I thought you were never going to say it. She said, time stood still. I said, so you know it too. She said, time stopped.
Yeah.
And that ain't the only time it ever happened to me. It happened that time, but Lord, we were so crazy that night. We saw so many miracles happen that night doing that program, but we were so crazy already till we said, if we tell people, they're not going to believe us when we tell them that time stood still. I said, let me tell you something. I read in the book where God done it for Joshua. He made the sun stand still. Yeah. I read in the book where he done Hezekiah. He turned back the sundial back. I said, if he can do it for them, and our battle is just as important as theirs. So he'll do it for us. And in this pandemic, I look at people and I admonish them and I encourage them. Don't get discouraged. Don't be afraid. But hear what the Spirit of the Lord is speaking in this time. There are many voices that are coming toward you.
Right.
And there are many do's and don'ts. And we have a guideline that we're supposed to follow. And we're going to obey the laws of the land. Amen. Because God commanded us in 2 or 3 places in the Bible to obey those that are in authority over you. But we're going to listen to what the Spirit had to say, because we the church. He said, but when in Revelation, it don't say listen to what the Spirit had to say to the world. It said, he that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit is saying unto the church. I'm the church, you the church. We're not trying to go with this authority. We're not trying to disobey authority. But God is a God of all. You watch it line up. All of it don't line up just the way God intends for it to line up. And when the Spirit of the Lord say, be still, you be still. If he said move, you move. So if he said be cautious, you be cautious.
Yes.
Oh, hold it. Be cautious. Don't go that way.
Oh, man.
You know, a lot of times, don't go that way. Go this way. But that's the long way. But go that way. And a lot of people in this time of this pandemic, they want to hurry up and say, God is speaking, say, well, we need to wait on something. But that's the long way. That's what we're saying. That's the long way. I want to go the short way because I want it now. I'm looking at in the natural.
Yes.
I'm looking in the natural. And what I see in the natural is making me believe and making me anxious.
Right.
When you done told me to be anxious for nothing. But in all things, through prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your request known unto God, and the peace of God. Most of the people that are so anxious don't have the peace of God. And I'm talking to the saints and the ain'ts. Talking to everybody.
Yes.
You don't have the peace of God. Get the peace of God. And in Colossians it says, when you get that peace of God, look, what you do so you'll make sure that you make the right decision is let the peace of God rule.
Yes.
Let it rule in your heart.
Yes.
Let it rule.
Yes.
We need to let the peace of God rule. And those that we see that are speaking out of both sides of their mouth that don't have the peace of God, we know not to let what they say rule. It's not going to overrule what God said. I just say, you hear the Lord. You hear what the Spirit of the Lord is speaking concerning you. You in your house. with it. You and your house. And it's up to those other people to do likewise. And if they don't, they won't get the same results. The results will be different. It's going to be different. If you think you can make it through this thing, this pandemic and all this stuff that we're going through now without God, then you are deceiving your own self.